A military crisis is sweeping South Korea, and the big question arises. What will become of BTS Jungkook in the midst of this emergency situation? Check out the discussion only on Top K-pop. Tensions on the Korean peninsula have risen again after the political and security situation experienced a significant escalation. South Korea has just declared a state of emergency as a precautionary measure against potential conflict with North Korea. This has sparked many discussions, including the role of citizens, including artists who are currently serving or will serve in the military, such as BTS Jungkook. As one of the youngest members of BTS, Jungkook is now in the public eye. This is because South Korea's conscription rules state that all men who meet the age criteria must be ready to be called up for duty at any time, especially in emergency situations. Jungkook, who just released his solo album, Golden, and is enjoying global success, faces this possibility of national duty like any other Korean man. In emergency situations, the South Korean government usually activates reserve forces, including those who have undergone basic conscription training. Although Jungkook has not yet started his military service, emergency regulations allow the government to call all citizens aged 18 to 35 to join the national defense. BTS fans, known as ARMY, have been buzzing about this possibility on social media, with most showing support but also concern for their idol's safety. BTS itself has become a global symbol of South Korean culture, and the government has previously granted permission for members to defer military service in favor of their global promotional duties. However, in an emergency situation like this, the rule can be waived in favor of national needs. If called up, Jungkook along with other members who have yet to complete the draft, such as V, Taehyung, and Jimin, must be ready to serve. This decision is sure to have a huge impact, not only on Jungkook's individual career but also on BTS as a group. International fans are now monitoring the situation with great interest. Many are concerned about how this situation may affect the group's comeback schedule or other individual activities. The South Korean government has so far not issued an official statement regarding the possible call-up of artists like Jungkook for emergency military duty. However, with military tensions on the rise, it is becoming increasingly relevant to discuss. As a Korean citizen, Jungkook has repeatedly expressed his pride in his homeland, leading many to believe that he will accept this responsibility with a mature attitude when the time comes. Meanwhile, fans continue to offer their support and prayers for their idol amidst this uncertainty. Not only for Jungkook, but also for all South Koreans who are directly involved in maintaining the country's stability in these challenging times. As the situation continues to develop, a big question arises. How can South Korea, as a country with a globally influential entertainment industry, balance its military needs and cultural assets? In this regard, big names like Jungkook from BTS have attracted not only national but also international attention. Currently, the South Korean government is in a dilemma. On the one hand, enforcing fair military service rules is an obligation that cannot be ignored, especially during times of martial law. On the other hand, BTS, including Jungkook, has made great contributions to the country's cultural and economic diplomacy. As a group designated as the presidential envoy for future generations and culture, BTS has a global influence that brings great benefits to South Korea's image. However, in an emergency situation, national priorities always come first. According to South Korean military regulations, all fit men can be called up for duty without exception, although there are some considerations regarding their positions or roles. If Jungkook is called up, he will most likely undergo intensive military training for a short period of time before being deployed according to operational needs. This news has also drawn various reactions from fans and the wider public. Some are proud that Jungkook and other BTS members, such as Taehyung and Jimin, are showing their patriotism through direct service to the country. However, many are also worried about the risks they will face, given the increasingly tense security situation on the Korean peninsula. As part of ARMY, fans have also started a global campaign to show moral support for BTS amidst this uncertainty. Social media is once again abuzz with hashtags such as #StayStrongJungkook and #SupportBTS, showing solidarity with the international fan community. Fans understand that this situation is not only about their favorite artists, but also the national obligations and responsibilities that every South Korean citizen bears. Meanwhile, the South Korean media is also continuing to monitor the situation, with various analyses and speculations circulating. Some experts argue that if the situation worsens, the government may create special policies that can mobilize citizens with certain roles, including celebrities. However, there are also those who believe that BTS may still be given some leniency given their unique role in supporting Korea's cultural and economic diplomacy. On the other hand, Big Hit Music, the agency that houses BTS, has not yet made an official statement regarding the military emergency situation. However, as seen in the group's decision history, they tend to support BTS members to fulfill their military service responsibilities in accordance with applicable regulations. This can be seen from the decision of Jin, the oldest member of BTS, who earnestly began his military service on time. The bigger question is, how will this decision affect BTS's future as a group? If an emergency situation does force all remaining members to serve, fans may be facing a longer hiatus than they anticipated. However, for BTS, their group unity has proven to be more than just music. As a strong family, they have vowed to come back together after completing their duties, no matter the circumstances. For Jungkook, the decision to serve the country in such a critical situation is not just a matter of personal responsibility, but also of national symbolism. As an artist known not only in Korea but also around the world, his decision could send a powerful message about Korean citizens' dedication to their country, even amidst global fame and success. However, the burden is certainly heavy. As the issue has developed, some in South Korea have begun discussing the possibility of a new policy governing the participation of public figures such as celebrities in emergency situations. Some have advocated for an exception for artists with significant economic and cultural impacts like BTS, while others have asserted that equality in military service is a core principle that should not be violated. On the other hand, ARMY and the global fan community have continued to show their solidarity. Social media campaigns have shifted not just to support Jungkook and the rest of BTS but also to calls for peace on the Korean peninsula. Hashtags like #PeaceForKorea and #ProtectOurIdols have trended on platforms like Twitter and Instagram, reflecting global concerns over an escalation that could affect the lives of millions. The South Korean government has so far maintained a firm but cautious stance. In a recent statement, a spokesperson for the Ministry of Defense said that all measures are being taken to ensure the country's defense, but also to consider the social and economic impacts. If Jungkook is indeed called up for emergency military duty, the impact will not only be felt by ARMY but also by BTS as a group. The group's schedules will likely be delayed even further, given the importance of maintaining their unity as a group that has vowed to stay together even through a hiatus. However, past experience has also shown that every challenge actually strengthens BTS, both as individuals and as a group. This crisis is also a reminder that behind the grandeur of the stage and the glitz of the entertainment world, idols are still citizens bound by national obligations. Jungkook, who often shows his love and pride for South Korea, has become a symbol of how an artist can take on great responsibilities without losing their identity. What do you think, ARMY? Will BTS's future amidst this situation become even more difficult, or will they show their true strength as global icons? Don't miss the latest updates only on Top K-pop.